Hello and welcome as it is the 13th day of October 2019. My name is Derek. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. Sunday morning. It's 9:10 a.m. Only got 20 minutes until the game starts. I got to find where it is. It's probably going to be on the local TV. If not, I got to find on the internet, which is the game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Carolina Panthers. For me, I got a wager for this little fellow here. Dare. Ogunbowale. I don't want to pronounce his last name because I really don't know much about who he is. He's one of three players I got wagers on that I've never even know who he was coming really into the week and probably barely would have seen the previous weeks. Also, my weird daily fantasy. I mean, if he could have like I don't know, maybe catch like 60, 80 yards and a couple touchdowns, that would work out well for me. But within my player prop picks today, I got four. I got five going today, or four today and one tomorrow. Dare Ogun, like I said, I don't want to pronounce it. All I need is 16, and he's against Tampa Bay. Is Tampa Bay is the team he's on? Mikey's got another guy I never heard of his to go, receiving yards to go under 16 or less. Oh, I never heard of this Johnson fellow in Philadelphia, but 13-yard catch is his longest one. Which the over/under is like 30 something, but you know what? He's gonna catch many of those good ones. And then tonight and tomorrow night, Ezekiel Alcalar over 38 and a half yards. I don't know what the number is now or the price. 39 is the number I need. And Aaron Jones to get a TD tomorrow night. And if you're asking me for picks to your channel, I'm just going to go and do a quick shout out for a channel I just found that was recommended to me by YouTube moments ago. And I'm just watching this for the first time. He's picking Carolina -2 for today's game. He's got a very good record. Someone I've been watching for the last 7 plus 8 years, or whenever he was on SBR videos. So actually, a good hockey guy is what I like him for, and he's good for football as well. I'll be curious if he dares into the hockey venture this year. The season has just started. My view from like years has been, you know what, you really don't want to start until like near Halloween, October 21st to November 1st kind of area, because that's when enough games could go through where I can use statistical data for current year numbers. Anyway, that is the sports section within the market cap of Bitcoin. We can see that this is just hanging in there within the 18, and now it's a support or resistance question. And the easiest way to show this is, we'll say, the 3 hour term time frame. And amongst all of this, we can see what we've had again: the amazing up run, or the large up run, and then the amazing trying to divert the trend, because it's not an amazing downtrend because it's barely went down. And that's the big question. What is it? Is this a very good correctionary bullish drop? Good, because of all the time and price that it's elapsed within it. Or is this the start of reversal? And within this bottom line that I have in here, not so much the top, but this top line's good for short-term analyses. But amongst this line in here, what are we doing right now? Supporting or resisting that line? All of this stuff in here. I don't know what other. It's not, I say all this nonsense, but it's not nonsense. All this worthless sense of whatever. I don't know how. Whatever. It's got value to it. This knowledge. But if we have this area here start to go higher, get above that 69.52 level, and we see something in the area of like this in any term, and obviously maybe not to that rate of ascent, but an area where it gets above here and then continuously makes moves higher. Then this would be, oh, look how well it supported this area. But if it does anything like this, oh, we resisted this area we were supposed to support, where, of course, this was this previous level of support in here on the reference. I don't know yet if we're supporting or resisting it. Or, if you want to give me the best answer for, oh, where are we going to break out next on the next big run? Either to the upside or the downside. Well, I think one of the answers might be within a question and answer. And the question is, if you take an elephant and a rhino and you morph them together with a mad scientist and you put a whole bunch of stuff, cool stuff together, what are you going to get? And the best answer I can give you is Aleph I know. So anyway, let's move on to Bitcoin. And within its triple hour term, it's had this low, it's had this high. Price action went below 18, big deal. It held and stayed above where it supported at 82, 87, albeit it attempted on the 17-hour stamp here to go lower, didn't do it. Now it's attempting to get above this 18 average of highs. It has gotten above it. Now it's attempting a clear break above it. It has not done that. It has attempted to get back to up to this previous high and break. It has done, and it has not yet done that. So it's gotten to this area. It's flattened out the band, and it's most certainly in a. It's very close to like any decent move, like 8,500 above is clear. Okay, you're stating a break above resistance 8,500 up to about 8,550 is the area where it came from. Even 8,600, the whole 85s is where we came from basically. And okay, well, support resistance question mark, all that type of stuff would come in. We're going to get one of those LFI no situations possibly when we get there to what we do next. Now I want to talk about not really dent, but any of these really, really, literally cheap coins on the Bitcoin exchange, like 2, 3, 4 Satoshi kind of numbers. Once we get up to 5 and 6, well, we're going to talk about that because it's important in this game. It's not as fun of an entry position point. But even at it, when you look at what went down during the time frame of August the 5th all the way to September 29th, that little run in there. Well, what happened was the price really never changed much at all from that level, as it barely got above to the 6 Satoshi level, only from August 26th for 2 days, and that was it. Then, after that, we've had this fall down to 2 and up, and well, that's where we stand now. So the idea here, and there's no way I can track how your previous results would work using this. And I don't know how I could track your results, period, anyway. But let's just assume you were playing this game back in here. You're like, yep, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to put a buy order for 5, say right around here. Say you got your 5 order on August 2nd. So now what you would do is you'd put a sell order at like 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe 12, 18. It's just that's what I would do anyway. But I definitely want to hit the numbers directly above it. And you also have your buy orders in. I'm going to put a buy order at 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to have a buy order for every single number. And then the 5 hits. Okay, so at some point you're going to be buying at the 5, and then once you buy, you put a sell order at the 6. Now, how many times, especially I want to refer to here, when you have your buy, like for example, if you have the 4-5 going, you would say have a buy order for 4, and it hits right here. Well, now you got a sell order for 5 and a buy order for 3. So the buy order for 3 would never happen, of course. But when would and maybe you might put another buy order in for 4 while you're there. That could be another strategy you can do, so you could maybe back at the bottom of the list because it's a waiting game. So then you sell first, say, well, here was an area where you definitely would have sold for 5 if you got the buy here. Well, say you did buy before that. So you got your sell order for 5 that hits. Maybe the 6 hits, maybe it doesn't. But then after the 6 hit, you put a buy order for 5. And one of those times it should have came in here. But it would have taken some time because you'd be at the really start of the buy order. But maybe you buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, buy here. I don't know how many times that would work. Obviously, you would have definitely got your sell order filled at the 5 within this move. And again, would you get the 6? I don't know. And then you'd be just doing the same thing in here. How many times could you buy and sell back and forth amongst the range? I can't tell that. But it's when you look at the difference of price between 4 and 5, if you're buying then and you're selling, you're getting 25% right off just for one move, one handle because of the low level in how you play this. Now, I'm not doing this, but if I was in a say position where I were to get into it, or I'm on a company that's like, okay, you're trading for me, you're my trader, whatever company, Okay, we're going to get into this Dent coin, and I'm forced to. And this is part of my job. That's what I would do. And you can see it's really fun at the 2 and 3 level. And I mean, it's just left it. It's pretty good at the 3 and 4. But going from 2 to 3, that's 50%. 3 to 4, that's 33%. 4 to 5, that's 25%. 5 to 6 is 20%. That's why when you get above that numbers, it starts to, those great percentage numbers just leave. And then when you're in this, I guess one of the better examples might be something like, I guess, DGB, I think might have been the one from last year. I'm thinking it was them. Let's go daily. Because I remember somebody saying, "Oh, I know you don't like playing those codes," and it might have been them. It wasn't. Redcoin was the one because I was playing it Redcoin this way. So I'm gonna. This is what I did back in 20. This is what I did with this coin in 2017, and I should have had a better bank for the up move. But that's what I was doing in here. Was just flipping them back and forth, and then when all of this happened, I lost control, and I don't know when I got out completely. I'm like, oh my goodness, I got a little bit here. I sold some, but I probably sold all at a 38, or I don't know what I remember doing. But what I remember doing in here was just flipping the markets back and forth like that. I think I wasn't doing it here in March. I was doing it, I think, between the April run in here. But that's how you would play the Satoshi game on something of a cheap coin. And quickly, the only thing I traded today, I don't see much going on. I'm going to show you my trading spreadsheet in a little bit, just to give you the idea of volatility and just the basics of different things. The resistance here, it's broken out. So I sold a little bit of my GRS, and I did so by buying DGB, which is doing this. Now, the ratio of the two, I mean, that's all a bunch of whatever. But I was able to get in down here on the buy, so I'm selling up here. I'm in a position where I want a big move either way. But especially, I would suppose, to the upside, because I mean, I got a lot of coins actually when I think about it. Normally, I would just say just to the upside because I've accumulated a lot more. I pretty much have like the same amount of DGB that I started with. Not really. I got a bit more in net gain, and I got a lot more in net gain value wise on GRS. So in that, and I haven't got much considering I've been doing this cross for half a year. I've I've outperformed the market 30 something percent, 35%. And I mean, when I say outperform the market, I mean if I have more 35 my GRS are worth 35% more. My portfolio in doing this 35% more. It could be more, but it's actually still pretty good. But if I get a big move to the upside, the GRS goes up like 70, 80% in a day or two, and I've talked about that before. Well, then I could be like, okay, let's just take a large amount of these GRS and make a big trade. I haven't been able to do any of those type of wild trades, and I know this little move kind of stops, but it shows what's happening. But it's been in its tight range, and we can see beforehand just how this is like 42 to this, all this type of moves. So if you're wondering why I'm getting into coins, like more reasons why I'm getting into H bar or the Hedera hash graph versus Ravencoin, it's because I think, I don't know which would be the best. I just think it's a good candidate for this type of monstrously sick volatility. And it's a new one. So this is the Hedera and the Ravencoin on the daily chart, just barely getting into the 18 average. So if you take a look at this on the 3 hour time frame, we got this high at 147, and we got this low right now at about 90. So that's a difference of about like 58, 60% volatility, and it's just short run. That's not bad to start. But I want to see something like this go down to like zero point 0.1 or under zero point 0.1, and then back to up like 10. Just different things like that. Then go from 10 down to 5, down to 3, up to 7, down to 0.21, and just do the things that it likes to do. And in looking at this spreadsheet, and I had somebody thank you for you know who you are. I know who you are. You are for sending me a spreadsheet that does the automatic prices. But it's been a very difficult and buggy for me to set up what I'm looking. And this is fine enough for me as I move forward. Now, what I want to talk about is these price differential moves that I have on here. So since July the 7th, when things were already bad as far as since the April ish first ish moves for altcoins against BTC, a lot of bad, and so it just got even worse. And this is what the values are since the that date, both in the dollar against Bitcoin, and then since 9:34 a.m. on September 30th, how it's done against Bitcoin. So this is basically for the month plus a day, or the last 2 weeks. So Atom, which is Cosmos, is up 15% since then, but down 26. Bitcoin Cash down 25%. We have Bitcoin, which is down 27% against the dollar since July the 7th, up 3% since the September 30th. Dashcoin down 38 and down 1 here. DGB is up 12%, but only down 12 since this point. ETC is down 18%. It had a nice run just before September or yeah, before this date here. GoChain up 11% since this point, only down 15% since here, but it was down so much before that. And I remember trading this at 300 or buying, yeah, selling at 300. I've never bought it. The highest I bought is high twos when I start back in that time. GRS up 21%, down 17. HBAR since that date's down 13%. Of course, no data for it before. Komodo up here, but down 54. Litecoin down 34. And really no change here. And down 40% for Neo and a small loss here. Ravencoin, I could get data from before here, but I wasn't trading it, so I'm not going to do it. It's up 17%. Now this one here is the interesting one. Sky up 37.5% in the last couple of weeks, but in the last couple of months it's down 41, and it's even down more before then as well, because it was already getting its ass destroyed, if you will, from this point. Because a lot of altcoins have in the last well, almost 2 years now, a year and 3/4. T Fuel up 7% and down 50. Now Theta down only 1.2%, 6% since this level, and everything else is down 10, 20, 40, 50%. Also, Ripple's only down 3.6% since then, too. So I find Ripple an interesting one, how it's holding in there as well. I think this is becoming a must hold. And, well, for me, I would think for anyone on a diversified portfolio, I have to think that's something you should have in there. And if that's one of your only one or two or three coins or whatever, you know what? For now, I think it's a good coin. But as it comes down to cryptos and the long term time frame, I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. I've went through the reference many times. If I've had a safe where I got to put something in and it's locked for 2 years, 5 years kind of deal, meaning that I'll get it, but I'm forced to wait that time. I wouldn't want to put private keys of cryptos in there as much as I'd want to put physical silver in there as my top choice, and gold would be my second choice. My third one would probably be cryptos over cash, though. But then at that point, which one would I trust? Over Ripple, I would trust other ones like Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin over that of Ripple. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day and enjoy this weekend's whatever you're doing. Take care.